Live on a Thursday with Rewatchers Cancel Snark here. Boy, oh boy, am I ever excited, guys, to introduce my fellow council member today, Brennan Marr. Brennan, how you doing, pal?
Doing good.
What a bragger. What a bragger. Now, we're going to be talking about season 5, episode 13, right that midpoint. You always know what's going to happen around Buffyverse, but we'll talk about that in a second. There's blood ties here. Now, original air date for this one, February 6th, 2001. So it's like just past the silver anniversary, as many of these season 5 episodes will be, Brennan. Written by Stephen S. DeKnight. No,
That name is familiar.
I'm sure you know him from a few things. First of all, of course, this is the first of 5 he's going to write for Buffy. He's also going to write 12 for Angel. I believe he becomes an executive producer at one point. Now, he's going to go on to executive produce and write for a ton of shows that you'll know. Smallville, which I just actually watched for the first time not long ago. We got of course, Spartacus. What is it?
Hmm.
Saga, because there's like 30 of these goddamn things right now. What else?
The original
Daredevil, of
movie is still
course.
the best.
Yes, yeah. Well, I am Spartacus. I want you to know that. Yeah, he was also the showrunner for Daredevil. He was responsible maybe for one of the best fight scenes, I think, or whatever, when he had the hallway fight in that first season of Daredevil.
Hmm.
Now, this one, directed by Michael Gershman. Last time he was on the program directing, it was This Year's Girl. Now, ready for a little pop culture?
Oh
Number
boy.
movie. The number one movie. I'm sure this has been one of your all-time favorites. The Wedding Planner.
Oh my word, I remember that movie.
Oh, well, I never saw it. I just remember it as J Lo. It has the McConaughey in there as well. The number one song. The number one song I know quite well. It was a big club favorite back in the day. Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
Oh, that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Sure. They were banging on the bathroom floor. Anyways, and the number one song in the UK, Still Rolling by Limp Bizkit. That song was very popular in good old England town. I don't understand it, but there it is, Limp Bizkit. At
I
least
don't think anyone does.
they kind of moved away from their boy bandish stuff for a little bit, and then over here in Canada, speaking of J Lo, Love Don't Cost a Thing, number one in Canada at that time. All right, her
Mm.
debut single, I believe. I can't remember her having another one before that. Anyways, DVD summary time, pal. After learning she is the key in human form, a distraught and disbelieving Dawn enters the hospital's mental ward, where she encounters Glory. Yeah, all right. That's basically the episode. So, no, so we'll get into it a little bit more. Now, it's going to start off, of course, whenever it gets to the midway point of a series of, or I guess season of Buffy, the 12th or 13th, they're going to celebrate day. Our little girl's turning 20, Brennan. It's now she's already been an adult, I guess, but 20 is different. 20 hits a little different than say a 19 or so or whatever. So there's plans underway for. She doesn't want anything big now that that they all know what Glory is. Speaking of her, they know that she ruled a hell dimension. There's been thousands, according to Anya, of hell dimensions. They ruled this one. Every one of them wants to try and find their way in to this reality. Of all realities they could have picked, this is the one they want. They want the one with that Slayer in there. Now, they also know that she can go loco if she doesn't get some mind action. She doesn't, brains out of people with fingers, which is gross. By the way, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Some mistake you ever saw them doing that. Be pretty rude. Anyways, that's the only way they can make her right again when she goes nuts. They also know that there's been an influx of patients over at the local mental ward, which seems like a very small space to contain a very big problem and a complex problem at that. They just have this one kind of like little offshoot room,
Mm-hmm.
you know. S- uh, they keep trying to make Sunnydale smaller than it actually is, but what are you gonna do? Anyways,
Sunnydale
we're
has gigantic.
it's huge. It has more per capita. Where else in America? I'll say the world, but also, it still only has one Starbucks, as far as we know.
Mm.
We only we heard that in the first episode. It's never been updated. So, anyways, they didn't know what that where the stuff. They know that Glory needs the key for all of this stuff. They also don't know that Buffy and Giles knows where that key is.
Mm.
They've been keeping it a little secret from them. Then they start shaming Buffy into it. If Buffy's keeping something from the Scoobies, that's probably a pretty good idea. You know what? Why would they keep asking questions about this stuff? But they do. And she realizes, they're all going to have to lay their lives on the line at some point for all this. So they're telling them. Anyways, she says, there's something you guys need to know about Dawn. It's like, oh, all right. So we get one of my favorite scenes of the entire season. I don't know why, but I've always just loved it. So the Knights of Byzantium, they're big in a park, I guess, nearby Sunnydale. They're chanting some stuff about the Lord. It seems Jinx tells them that you know what, God isn't going to help you guys. So the minions all start attacking. So there's a whole bunch more Byzantium, which is there's a whole bunch more minions. We've only ever seen the two. They all
Mm.
start fighting. One of them is literally gonna swing into action here, Brennan. Uh, okay. It brings me a couple. Like, did they already set up a just in case they were gonna do this? And he doesn't go far. And it wasn't like he was going over a creek or anything like that. There's a guy that just swings into action for the heck. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Unless well, you're a Californian. Do they have like I live in the frozen north? Do they have Tarzan vines at the ready just in California parks?
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing at all. But it's super fun to watch the one minion with a sword swing into action, only to get knights had no problem taking care of these dumbass. But there's a knight on the ground. I believe this one's going to be Gregor. He's going to take care of this. He's going to take care of poor Jinxie. It seems. Poor Jinx.
Mm.
Here comes the sword. Slam down on him, but Glory shows up. Grabs the thing with her sword with her bare hands, and exasperated. Says, you never send a minion to do a god's job. And that's it. She is going to start pummeling these knights by herself. Grabs a sword, starts slashing a couple. Poor Gregor, who got hit immediately in the thumb, has to do the slow crawl. There's
Mm.
nothing. If there's nothing cheesier in a show, delightfully cheesier. I'll say this. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. Than a guy slow crawling towards a weapon only for that weapon to be taken from him last minute by at this time that we know a god, and saying, "Oh, this thing was sharp." she's pretty sure the thing is going to hurt. So, oh my God. We get some credits after this. Then we see Tara and Willow doing a spell outside the magic box. And she's like, well, we're just going to do an early warning, protection, stuff like that. It's going to set off an alarm. We're going to get Dawn showing up here wanting to help. Uh, you know, uh, Willow is acting a little strange, but not too convincingly. But Dawn's like, she's like, well, I don't know if Buffy would like this at all. And Dawn's like, whatever. I don't think that was too out of the ordinary for Willow to say, and I don't know why Dawn would get so upset about this. What do you think?
I have no idea.
Anyways, she's gonna pout. She's gonna go inside. Xander and Anya in there. Xander's getting extra friendly now. He's gonna start tickling her, and while he's doing that, he's gonna look and see, you know, he's gonna make sure that she's real, she's human at this time and stuff like that. Whose adult friends should be tickling their 14-year-old friends as kid sisters? I don't like this
Yeah,
at all.
it felt a little odd.
Yeah. I do like when Anya says that she makes a very pretty little girl. And they're like, hey, that's the weird thing or whatever. So, Giles and Buffy gonna seem the same, though they don't change the way they act towards Dawn at all.
Hmm.
Uh, but they're gonna be talking at the counter. She's gonna notice a book that Giles pulls out while he's at the cash register, and then when he puts it away and stuff like that, it kind of disappears. Anyways, she's gonna tell Buffy that she's freaking out because Glory's prettier than her. Buffy takes great offense at this. Uh, you
Yeah.
know, Dawn doesn't think she's too tough looking and stuff like that. No, she's just regular, prettier lady. You know what I mean? So we're gonna cut to Glory torturing poor Gregor for key info. First physically, and then physically.
Hmm.
There's physically and physically, if you know what I mean. And then she just jams her fingers in his head, And when it comes down to it, that's what is going to make her happy. So Buffy is going to have people over at the house. It's birthday present time, time where every 20-year-old wants just presents at her house. Now, Anya is incredibly jealous of them, just, building towards her capitalistic ideas, which is very fun. Dawn's going to give her a picture frame. She says, oh, it was from when we all went to the beach when I was 7, and she collected all the shells, and everybody is, looking awkward and stuff like that. And Buffy's tearing out, saying, I remember. One thing that isn't noticed by anybody in this, Joyce isn't wearing her little headscarf thing, and her hair's done, and nobody ever says anything about it.
Mm.
How terrible! It'd be a horrible thing if they weren't able to say anything about her nice hair in the near future. Anyways, Buffy's gonna hug Dawn for the present, and then they're gonna once again talk about Dawn. Afterwards, they're in the kitchen. They're always talking about Dawn when she's within earshot of all things, which is not very smart in my idea. Anyways, Buffy's gonna notice that she's there grabbing plates or stuff for cake. She then is gonna question everybody else in the room. Dawn is. Sorry, I should have said, but why everyone's acting weird around there? You're saying they're not. Anya goes ahead and says, "Oh, we were talking about sex." This
Of
is
course.
yeah, not her at all. And then Dawn is gonna have a tantrum. She's gonna go up to bed, or so she yells. But in reality, she's off to go to the magic box to go steal stuff. Which is we gonna become a thing for Dawn. But first, she's going to bump into a lurking, bleached out vampire that's just been, you know, lurking around. He's got a present with him. She's gonna make fun of this. It's like, you got a present for Buffy. Starts laughing. That same box of chocolates, by the way, that I think he beat the hell out of that mannequin with. Anyways, uh, she's gonna tell him that she's badder than him now. At least she can hurt a person if she really wanted him. Tells him what she's up to. She's gonna go to that magic box. She's gonna go steal. He has a problem with this until he's asked to come along. It's like, oh yeah, he'll go do that. Then gets a little disappointed when they get there. All she wanted to steal was that book. She has the curiosity of a cat, Brennan. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't even want the book itself, just what the was written in it. So she's gonna fiddle around. She's gonna find the switch for the drawer. The book is gonna contain notes on the key, and it mentions that only those outside reality can see the key and its true nature. So things, and they're gonna start playing back. A little medley of things that people have said to her in the past. Putting things together. Says the canine, the key is susceptible to canine or serpentine necromancy detection. And then
Ooh.
we can think back to when that cobra dude slithered into the magic box and started going nuts. Now, Spike's gonna grab the book. He is gonna start reading aloud here. This passage where the energy was made human, sent to the Slayer to keep it safe in the form of a sister. I don't know why Giles had to write so much,
Very,
but
very,
he,
very detailed. Very detailed.
he incredibly detailed. Also, this is the first time I think he ever calls her Niblet, which is going to be a thing going forward. But more importantly, this is where she knows for sure that she's the kid. Get back to the house now. There's some Riley talk, of course. Why do they keep talking about Riley? It would drive, if anyone's ever talking to you about X all the time, you say, quit it! Enough! Like it's over. Anyways, doesn't matter. Don's gonna
I'm
walk
glad
in.
to be single.
Yes, yeah, it's a well. I'm glad to be, but it could be it's a lot of work. So she's gonna cut her hand here, holding a knife. She's gonna ask if this is blood. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Don." Uh, she's of course, incredibly telling them that she's not a key, she's not a thing. Wants to know if she's real. Her mom's gonna go up to hug her. Everyone else is gonna go home after this. Giles, of course, offering to stay. Buffy's saying that this is a family thing. That's gonna hit Giles a little bit. Like, how much does he have to prove to everyone there that he's family and stuff like that? Anyways, Dawn wants to know why she wasn't told. Buffy says they were gonna do it and stuff like that. Joyce just said she was waiting till she was older. She asks how old she is, and they're saying it's about like how old. Like Joyce is like, you're 14. You're 14. She's like, no, no, no. How long have I been around for? They're like, well, about 6 months.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Like, she gets upset by this. Do you feel everything you felt more than 6 months ago? Like, you have the memories of it. Like you could say right now, you were made 6 months ago. If everything was implanted, would that change the way you are in life?
Oh,
I would. I
that's
don't
a
know.
deep. That's a deep question.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a deep.
Of course. Of course you
I'm
are.
a deep thinker. I'm 22 years old, and because I think so deep, that's how I got So
So now
Ricky.
I feel old now. If you're 22.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's what I'm here to do. Like everybody. I would say, you know, 6 months is it's about as much life as everybody lives and stuff like that. And
Okay.
other than that, it's all memories. It's all memories, just like what Dawn's been through. But compared to Dawn, she's a 14-year-old, living ball of energy, literally. She's start yelling at everybody to get out. She freaks out a lot in this. I know that this is one of the reasons why people don't like Dawn as a character. She is very, blood curdlingly yelling a lot, not just
Yeah.
in this one, but in future episodes too. But anyways, Buffy is saying, well, okay, if I can't hang around with Dawn right now, she's gonna go regroup at the magic box. She vowing now to get more info for her sister Dawn. This is when Anya notices some ashtrays in an urn there, some urn for some goddess. So Buffy's like, okay, now I know how she got into this bloody place. Of course, everything's gonna get blown on spike. She goes to attack him. He tells her, "I was just there to look out for her. Like, hey. I'm there just to make sure she didn't get into too much trouble." He's gonna blame Buffy for not being honest or whatever. She's gonna leave. Joyce is gonna go help Dawn now. Gets rebuffed again. Is told she's not her mom. Then she's gonna leave.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say this: the person I feel most sorry for through all of this, Joyce. Joyce is the one, in her head that was still married. She had a child. The child, she has every memory of everything Dawn ever had until this point, and to be told that she's not her mom by that kid, and the kid needs it because of this thing that happens that she just found out a week or two ago, and she's had all these problems, you know, with cancer in her head. You got to feel the worst for Joyce through all of this. Anyways, Ben is over at the hospital. He's bringing meds to all those poor mental patients. Notices that there's a new Byzantium knight for some reason over occupying a bed there. Knows that there's one in that they're now in their midst. Just shows up, you know, in the nick of time. It seems there. Tells them there's a few now, but there's going to be a whole lot more coming. Tries to threaten Ben, about helping Glory. Ben isn't too concerned about any of this. He says they all know, it seems, that Glory can't harm Ben. Then he's going to threaten Jinx again. He's followed through on some threats to Jinx. So it's a good thing that maybe Jinx takes these things into consideration. Dawn's back in her room now. She just, when she left, she said, well, I'd rather be at school than, this stuff. Of course, it wasn't a great day at school for her because Buffy and Joyce are going to discuss stuff. Now, Buffy's going to try and convince her mom that all that Donnie needs is a little time and space. Joyce says, well, that's suspended for saying some of the worst things that Joyce has ever heard come from a person, supposedly. Pretty gnarly stuff. Now, again, Buffy starts defending Dawn. But for some reason, and they keep doing this, she's going to do this from Dawn's point of view. And of course, Dawn, who's been in her room the entire time, is going to just walk out into earshot when she says, even though, again, Buffy is saying this from Dawn's point of view, she's not real. She's not family. We don't even know what she is. Oh, this is going to set Donnie off. She's going to run screaming into her room, start trashing it. Buffy and Joyce never hear any of this
I
somehow.
was surprised by that.
That is, it may be a two-story home, but there was no music, nothing going on. You would hear a little girl going nuts in her room, if you really think about it. So She's taking her diary. She's going to start ripping it all up. All these diaries. Now, Buffy and Joyce are going to still continue their conversation like nothing happened. Joyce says they have to show her that all the stuff that Buffy just said in her POV, that is not true. But an alarm goes off. Joyce is a little worried. Is that, early warning device that Will set up. Nope. It's the common fire alarm. Dawn set fire to that trash bin of hers and then jumped out the window and ran off. Not very responsible. I'll
You
say,
think they
Don.
would? You think they would have heard something? But yeah.
There's all that too. I would say that's not very excusable for Don either. Sure, be mad. Sure, maybe even trash the place, but burn it down. Come on, what are you doing? Anyways, Buffy is once again gonna head back to the shop because why start, searching right away when you can go to the shop and get everybody else to help? Because she's gonna rally the Scoobs here, and then she's gonna split the team up. Spike's there, for some reason. She's gonna take him, which I don't understand. She, like the last episode, she had Spike take care of Joyce. He's the only that could possibly stand up to Glory if they show up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you put the two of you together? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Dawn is gonna be in the park here by the swing set. She's gonna have a memory of Buffy pushing her on the swing. It's like, okay, uh, all right. I was I was thinking at first that maybe it's like I think Buffy is way too young looking in this one, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta let it go. So, anyways, Giles and Xander are gonna go searching through an alley. Xander becomes very proud that a 14-year-old girl has a crush on him.
Hmm.
Also, he calls himself the Zan Man. Now, I don't know what's creepier. Calling yourself the Zan Man or saying, she has a crush on me, this 14-year-old girl. I'm going to say it's the crush part. That's not something you just start talking about proudly. When you see Spike and Buffy. Spike and Buffy show up in the same part that Dawn was literally just at. But of course, we don't know if that's around the same time or anything like that. Buffy is going to start taking the blame now. Spike has to assure her, she's a teenage hormone bomb. If it was, she was about to go off anyways. They're going to find her right away. So, Dawn's decided to get to the bottom of things the best way she can, which is, of course, to go visit mental patients. Brennan, they activate. As soon as she walks in as well, they're starting to say it's here. She asks them if they can see her, ask if they know what she is. Of course, these guys have all lost their minds. Then the Byzantium knows. Gregor says, then no questions. He calls her the Destroyer. Then it's like, oh, she's like, this is the worst part. She didn't want to be evil. Turns out maybe she is, so she's going to run out right into Ben, of all people, who seems to be there a lot. They're going to share a cup of hot cocoa together. And again, creepy. This isn't a good thing to have happen. He asks if he can call anyone. And then she's gonna go into the whole bit where she doesn't have a family anywhere. He's gonna like, I get it. I have a sister too. It's like we can fight and stuff like that. All that stuff. Anyways, now he's gonna tell a hospital intern of all people that she's met a couple of times that she is the key, and started going on about it that she was made by Mux to keep Glory guessing where she is. Ben's like, bing, bing, bing. Oh, no. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me you're the key. He starts begging her to leave, tells her she has to go before Glory finds her. that she'll know for some reason that what Dawn is. She's going to keep asking questions. He says, if she finds you, she will hurt you. Dawn's just sitting there saying stuff. It's like, I don't think he can stress this enough. If Glory shows up and he knows that she's going to know you're going to get hurt for doing anyway. He tells her, yeah, you're the thing that Glory has been looking for, and then tells her, oh, he can feel her coming, which is interesting. Just still stays there, Then he's going to start yelling that she's here. She's here. And suddenly, Glory's there. That morph scene or whatever, by the way, took about 5 hours to film because that wasn't done with like CGI and stuff like that. They had to do it through cameras and editing. Anyway,
Interesting.
Glory just gonna go steal clothes from a locker. Don says that you're Ben. So well, it's a little more complicated than that. Threatens Don not to run. She wants to know why she was talking to Ben anyways. Well, I think that a lot of people would question that as well. But Dawn is just more relieved that she doesn't remember anything that she was actually saying to Ben. Glory asks if he was being naughty. Yeah, all right. Which is it's gross, but apt is apt. Guard's gonna walk in, and Glory's just gonna his neck.
Hmm.
It's rudeness, a good enough reason to crank somebody's neck almost in half.
Yeah,
Oh, it is. Okay, good. So the gang's going to meet up at a
it
cemetery.
might be considered impolite.
That's it. Yeah, it's not. Wouldn't do it over a dinner or anything like that. No, the gang's going to meet up at the cemetery now. No Dawn to be spoken of, but finally, and then they're going to gather back. I'm going to go back to the hospital. Dawn is going, or sorry, Glory wants to know where Buffy put the key. Tries to bribe Dawn now with ice cream and puppies. Nice.
Hmm.
Dawn wants Glory to describe the key or whatever. Says she knows more about it. Maybe she's known if she's seen it and stuff like that. So by this point, the gang's all at the hospital in the admitting area. For some reason, I don't know if this guy is a maintenance guy, is some kind of intern-ish guy, but he just walks through a gathering of people at an admittance area, talking about a man that he found whose neck has been twisted almost off with a bunch of cops. I think that's something you whisper. That's a whisper moment.
Yeah, I don't think you say that out loud in the hospital lobby.
Yeah, it's not great. Anyways, uh, Dawn is talking about what this thing would look like. She said, "Well, a swirling shimmer and stuff like that." Now, Dawn asks how long the key's been around. Gloria wants to say, "Well, not as long as me, but pretty close." So just this side of forever, it seems. And if it's evil, and Gloria's like, "Yeah, it's totally evil." It's like, well, I guess if depending on your point of view, it could be totally evil. Now Don wants to know what it unlocks, and Gloria says, bingo. This is the thing that you need to know. Anyways, something's going on with Gloria. She's like, you know what? I don't think I don't think you know what's going on with my key. She's like, she's starting to rethink things, and she's acting a little manic at this point. She's like, you know what? I can kill two birds with one stone here.
Hmm.
One thing she wants to do is send Buffy a message. What a
Hmm.
better message is it to, leave her little sister lying in a pool or something. So she's getting ready to put, remember those old Palm Olive commercials? Where it makes your fingers all nice and tingly.
Oh yeah, yeah,
About to do this to poor Donnie, but uh, good thing the Scoobies actually come in just in the nick of time. So they're gonna start fighting. Spike is gonna jump into the fight as well. Gonna look to see how he can do. Glory takes care of him in 2 seconds, knocks him out cold. Spike is Glory's gonna throw a crowbar at Buffy. She's gonna stop it. In her side, it seems. Nothing ever gets told about afterwards or whatever. But she does have, you know, uh, Slayer healing skills and stuff like that. Xander's hits her over the head with that crowbar. I can't remember if that happens before or after. She takes care of him. All this going on. Willow is starting an incantation. Glory hasn't noticed that, which is good because there's going to be a point where Tara and Willow are going to throw sparkles on her. And she's going to be pretty upset that they ruined her dress, which wasn't hers. She stole it. She stole it from a nurse or a doctor or
that's
somebody.
true.
Anyways, says a magic word, pop. No more Glory. But Willow's going to faint, wake up with a bloody nose, has no idea where Glory will reappear at all. Turns out she's going to appear. Uh, I wouldn't say a mile, but maybe a kilometer or so above Sunnydale. Anyways, we get the nice and then Glory's going to fall for a while. I guess even if you're a god, if you fall for a kilometer or so, it's going to hurt when you hit the bottom. Anyways, Giles going to mention that this spell that she did, was way above Willow's level. He's always going to say these things are above her level until he doesn't. Anyways, says she like Willow's going, yeah. I agree. Don't worry about it. Then Buffy's going to find Dawn, tell her that she loves her, of course, that she's her sister. Shows the blood on Donnie's arm. Says that blood's Summer's blood. You're made of the same stuff as me. We're sisters. She is way too annoying not to be her sister.
Thus, the title of the episode.
There's a tie there. There's a blood tie. It isn't about, a cravat. You know what I mean, Bryn? It's about the tie that
Hmm.
binds families. So, anyways, uh, Donnie's gonna hug her as well. She's gonna admit now that she's scared. It has something she wants to say about Ben.
Hmm.
For some reason, can't remember it. So Donnie now is gonna ask how freaked out her mom is and stuff like that about everything with the fire. Buffy's gonna assure you, you're gonna get a pass. Yeah, some existential thing happened. Don't worry about it. Then, of course, Dawn's gonna wonder if she's gonna get a raise in her allowance. But I was like, yeah, don't touch it. Like, all right, come on. So that's going to end the episode. Seems like everything is going to be fine over at the Summers house for, years and years to come. Now, the next episode is Crush. If you don't remember, this is the one where Spike lets his feelings known, but maybe to more than one lady, because there's
Yeah, things get weird.
a couple others show up here, which is very fun. All right, buddy. Thanks for joining me on the council yet again this week. It's always a pleasure to have you, Brendan. Why don't you tell everyone what's up with you on the good old internets?
Well, you can find me on Blue Sky at brynmar.bluesky.social. You can find me on uh, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at Page Turners They Were Not.
Fantastic. Thanks, dude. I'll be back tomorrow. I think aren't you going to be with me tomorrow for
Yes, I'll
rewatch
be back
events?
tomorrow, yes.
We're gonna talk about Angel. It's happy anniversary
I'm gonna actually
tomorrow.
watch it now.
Oh, well, I actually like this episode, so it'll be a fun one for you to watch. Now, Also, this weekend over on our sister channel, Good Friends, Better Rivals, I'll be talking about what's been going on so far, in the first few games of the Olympic tournament with Adelia and Ryan on Saturday. I believe that's at 6 o'clock Central Time on the post whistle. Tomorrow, I'll be talking with Delia on a very special starting 11 live Friday. Guys, thank you all for joining us. And I'm going to do a thing where I'm not going to get in heck for screwing up how to do a rewatcher's council when
Hmm.
I have the ones and twos. Guys, thank you all for joining us. And in the words of Gregor, the Byzantine Knight, I hope you like and subscribe. We'll see all of you next time.